everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all had wonderful New Year's Eve. Today I have something special made just for you. In my last vlog, I mentioned that I wanted to do some homemade cooking videos for you guys. So here I am, introducing my very first GY kitchen video. In this video, I'll be giving out step-by-step instruction on how to cook oxtail stew. Please be mindful that this recipe is made based on my personal taste and diet, so it's not something you can find online. It's not a professional recipe. Before we get started, I would love to know which recipe you want to see next. I will put 3 ideas here, and please leave comments down below and let me know which one is your favorite. I will make sure every single comment are counted for. So without further ado, let's get started. So first thing first, you will need to go to a local supermarket or Costco in my case to get some oxtail. The Costco oxtail usually comes in 2 packs, and if you don't have someone like Ping who can eat a lot, I think 1 pack is good enough per meal. Step 2, you will need some fresh ginger root, carrots, and scallion. Next, you need about 6 to 8 mushrooms. Personally, I love portobello mushrooms over white mushrooms, but here you can use whatever mushroom you like. So whenever I cook meat stew, I always use a little bit of cooking wine to get rid of the bloody smell in the meat. I don't really know the exact reason why you use wine to get rid of the smell, but that's how I was taught. My grandmother does it, my mom does it, so I do it. If you don't mind the bloody smell, you can skip this step. Anyway, I typically use rice wine for this part. Last but not least, you need a big pot of water to cook the meat. This step is not to fully cook the meat, but to extract the remaining bit of blood in the meat. Now that we got all the basic ingredients, let's start cutting. So before you start cooking, you need to prep the ingredients. It's really simple. All you need to do is cut 4 slices of ginger root and then cut the scallions into 4 sections. After that, you need to wash and peel the carrot skin and then cut them into big chunks. Otherwise, it will get soft too quickly. The last ingredient is mushroom. So basically, you cut the mushroom into small pieces. Some people might prefer eating the whole mushroom, but this is up to you. So now that you have done all the prepping, let's start cooking. First, you place your pot of water onto your stove top. Let the temperature set as high to get the water to boiling point. Once your water is boiling, now you will need to put the scallions and ginger roots in the water. Next, open the oxtail package and place the oxtail in the water. Then you add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of rice wine in the water and cover the pot with the lid and let it boil for another 5 minutes. Keep the high temperature going. So once the meat has been in the water for about 5 minutes, now you can see the extra blood is floating around on the surface of the water. I usually just get a big spoon and just scoop them out. After you're done, just drain the water with a colander or something similar, then you'll be good. When it comes to stew, most people might think that just throwing the meat in the water and let it slow cook and then you're done. But no, not really. To make the meat more tasty and flavorful, you need more than just throwing the meat in the water. So here I'll actually brown the meat with some brown sugar so it's tasty and more flavorful. First, you need to add a bit of olive oil in the pot and keep the temperature at medium heat. Then next, you would need some brown sugar. I usually use a big chunk like this and just wait for it to melt. Then you pour some garlic powder or like chop up some fresh garlic and throw it in there. Now it's time to put the oxtail in the pot and get it to a brownish look. Next, you will need to add just enough water to cover most of the oxtail. So step 3, you need some spice. The dish is not completed without some spice in it. So this is what you need. Number 1, you need some dried aniseed. Add about 2 to 3 aniseeds in the water. Number 2, you need some Sichuan pepper. You can get this at local Asian markets. Number 3, you need some fennel seed. For this part, I usually put the fennel seed and the Sichuan pepper together in the tea infuser so they don't float around. And most of all, you don't have to worry about eating it by mistake. When the infuser is filled with the pepper and the seed, just drop it into the water. Number 4, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'll try. It's called Radix Estrangelli. I don't know how exactly you pronounce this, but I'll put it right here. And you just basically need 1 strip and break it into half. Number 5, this is my family recipe when it comes to cooking with meat and mixed stew. My grandmother always loved to dry up some leftover orange skin and use it for cooking. So here I am also throwing in a dry orange skin to keep it more flavorful and tasty. Number 6, many Chinese meat stew recipe will use bay leaf and cinnamon stick to give a little bit more flavor. Here I am using cinnamon powder instead of cinnamon stick. Number 7, add about ½ cup of dark soy sauce in the water for coloring the meat. The dark soy sauce doesn't really have much salty taste in it. It's just for coloring and the presentation of the meat. Number 8, you need to add about 1½ to 2 cups of regular soy sauce. This is based on personal preference. If you are someone who prefers salty food like Ping, then you can add more. After this, you just need to turn the temperature to medium-low. On my stove, it's 2 to 3, and then slow cook for about 1½ to 2 hours. Once the time is up, now you add salt. I usually add about 6 to 8 teaspoons, depending on the water amount and also personal taste. Then let it cook for another 10 minutes. The final step after the 10-minute mark is to add in the carrots and mushrooms. You do this because this vegetable cooks pretty quickly, so you don't want it to sit inside and absorb too much salt. Now you just sit back and relax and wait for 10 to 15 minutes for your food to be ready. Voila! Now you have delicious oxtail stew is ready to be served. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching as always. I apologize for the messy stovetop I have, but my kitchen is set up in a weird way, so I always use the same stovetop to cook, and it gets messy after a couple meals. But I will make sure I clean it for the next video. And if you enjoyed this video and would love to see more, please help me out by clicking thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't be a stranger and click the subscribe button down below. And finally, if you love this video, please feel free to share with your friends and family who loves cooking and Chinese food. And thank you so much for your love and support. I will see you on the next one. Bye!